Happy Manliness Monday, YouTube. So, we're doing another part of Don'ts for Boys. A very strange novel of its time. Not novel, but advice book, I guess. So, let's jump into it. Don't get caught in the wheel of destiny. Boys are often terribly hurt by standing too near danger. Pay attention around you, I guess? Make your own... That's kind of confusing. Don't be one-sided. Have a hobby, if you like, but don't ride it over other people. I guess that's saying you really should be a multi-dimensional person. Don't be boring, don't be basic. I guess. I'm not sure. Don't neglect your bath. A robust boy should also be an enthusiastic bather. Now, when this was published, bathing wasn't as popular as it is today over the last 30, 40 years. In the early 1900s. It was just starting to come into vogue, you know, bathing yourself more than once every couple weeks. However, there are a few things, general health things, that need to be addressed with this. And it's kind of strange and it sounds counterintuitive, but unless you are working out or sweating every single day, you shouldn't shower every single day. It's actually very bad for your skin, your hair, your scalp, everything. Because you have natural oils in your body that is good for your skin, and washing removes those. So really, you should shower every other or every third day, unless you're working out. And there's also a distinct difference from heat sweat and stress sweat. Heat sweat, somehow they're chemically different. I'm not exactly sure on the specifics, but heat sweat doesn't make you stink. Stress sweat does. Doing things that are overly, exertive of your body produce stress sweat, which will make you stink very fast. So shower, please, for the love of God, shower. But also, even if you're sitting in an air-conditioned office and you're working hard, mentally, and you're building up a sweat, or you're getting yelled at and you start sweating, that'll also make you stink pretty bad. But if you're just sitting out in the sun and you build up a little bit of sweat on you, it's not going to make you stink. So, if you're working out or you have a physical job or a stressful job, please shower every day. Otherwise, you should shower every 2 to 3 days for the health of your skin, your hair, your scalp, everything. So, and please don't go longer than 3 days. You kind of start to get grody. I need to do a whole episode just on that, I think. Don't rush into intimacies. Grow into them. Remember that it takes more than a mutual liking to constitute friendship. This is an older version of the word intimacy, I think, because they're talking about friendship. But I don't think there's any reason to not try to be instantly friends with somebody. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's a product of its time. Don't dissipate your efforts. Apply yourself to one particular branch of trade and become its master. Yes and no. There's a there's a saying that's often bungled. A jack of all trades, but master of none. That's not the full saying. I'm a jack of all trades, but master of none. But, however, it's better than being just a master of one. You should always work to improve yourself on multiple fronts. Just try not to stretch yourself too thin. I know the way they have this worded sounds more definite. Work at one thing until you're a master of it. I don't necessarily agree with that. Because there are several things that I'm working on concurrently all the time that I'm not a master of. And if I followed this book's advice, I wouldn't have produced a video for another 3 years. Until I became a master of shooting film, of editing film, of reading and inserting metadata and everything else. Just to start a YouTube channel. No. Always work on multiple fronts. Just try not to stretch yourself too thin. Don't nag your sisters, or you'll find yourself unpopular with the sisters of other fellows. Yeah. You know what, guys? Don't nag women in general. Don't be an asshole to women, because girls talk. Everyone talks. And if you start being nasty to one particular person, a lot of people are going to find out about it. And again, I said this in the first and second episode. Don't be an asshole. Moving on. Don't be a glutton. It is odious to stuff yourself with all sorts of food. Eat heartily, but not like an animal. Eat till you're full. But don't make yourself sick from eating. Don't be a loafer. God and man dislike the breed. Pretty much just work at your life, improve your life, get a job, and be the best you can. Don't miss trips to the country. A 5-mile walk or 10-mile spin will cure a case of blues and clear the brain of cobwebs. Yeah, get out of the house, guys. And I don't care where you are. If you're not a country guy, go out to the country. See a change of pace. Get out in nature. You need to. There's something healthy about it that I can't exactly put my finger on. Maybe it's from how we evolved. We didn't evolve to live in cities, cramped around with other people, in houses. No. So get outside, get in nature, be alone, take a walk, down the road or along a creek, go to the beach. Don't wrangle during sports. Shouts and angry voices never helped an umpire or righted a foul play. Yeah, but I'm not a sports guy, but it is easy to get wrapped up. But also, don't be that dad who screams at the umpire during his son's t-ball match. Or for any of the women watching, don't be a soccer mom. Don't talk shop. Close the counting house door when the clock strikes the hour, unless you stay there to work, which, if required, do cheerfully. Alright, they should have broken this up. Don't talk shop. Close the counting house door when the clock strikes the hour. Period. What's wrong with talking to people in your field about work? Unless you're bitching about work, talk about work. It's fine. And that's a great way to network. And you should always be networking, guys. The second part of that should be broken up to something of, if you are required to work later than normal, do so happily. Be happy that you're getting the overtime. The boss will notice how you react to it. Don't fail to get acquainted with yourself. You'll have a few surprises, but you'll never again be self-duped. Great advice. Know who you are. Not just this mythos that you build up about yourself, because we all have this ideal person of who we are in our own mind. But get to know the real you. You do have flaws. There are things you can improve. There are things that you never even thought of. Get to know them. Find someone who can help you out and speak critically about you in a non-hurtful manner, if possible. Don't neglect any opportunity to expand your lungs or strengthen your grasp. Vitality and force make little giants of boys who cultivate them. Yeah, always work to help yourself out. Even if it's you do 5 sit-ups a day, or you do a plank for a minute and a half a day, or you go for a jog, or you just grip something in the morning a couple times to work up your strength. It does wonders for you. Don't introduce your acquaintances to girls unless you have permission and can vouch for their good character. Yeah, because when you approach a girl, you should always ask permission. Excuse me, miss, may I introduce my friend so-and-so? And don't introduce an asshole, because that looks bad on you. And like I said earlier, girls talk. And you always want to be putting your best foot forward. Always. And you also don't know who's friends with who. Who's your boss's wife? Who are her friends? Things can get through the grapevine pretty quick. Especially if you say the wrong thing or introduce the wrong person. You never want to be the guy who introduces somebody to a girl who's, a domestic abuser or a drug addict. You don't want to be that guy. Because people will associate that person with you. Don't be on the lookout for injuries or snubs. People who go about hunting trouble soon find trouble hunting them. This should be plastered on the front of every college door. And the people who look for injustices, even when there are none, will find them. They'll find slights and snubs at every turn if you look for them. And most of the time, they're not there. This really needs to be plastered on every high school, on everywhere. Everywhere, this should be plastered. Don't go looking for injustices or snubs. That one got me worked up. Did you see how that one's a little near and dear to my heart? Don't worry. You'll need all your courage to face difficulty. Pretty much. At the same token, don't despair difficulty. This isn't in the book. This is just from my own mind. Don't despair difficulty, because you have faced 1,000 of your worst days. 1,000 days that you thought you couldn't live through. And yet, you're still here. Don't starve the mother heart. boys often do this thoughtlessly. When was the last time you called your mom? Sent her a text message, sent her a card, stop by to say hi, chew the fat. Guys, it's important. No matter how old you are, you're still her kid. You're still her little boy. Go say hi to your mom. Sometimes I don't think a lot of these things even bear saying, but when it's written out in front of me, it's one of those things that I do constantly that I don't even think about. Don't consider it wasted time to watch the little preferences of your girlfriends. Such tribute to their individual tastes delights them. Yeah. If you want to be a real man, you pay attention to things. This goes back to a lesson way earlier in this book, 2 or 3 episodes ago. Cultivate observance. And again, guys, girls talk. And if you can remember certain things about certain girls and play to those, you're going to be way ahead of every other guy around that doesn't pay attention, that doesn't do this. And I mean, don't be an asshole. Learn what people like, learn people's preferences, and do your best to accommodate them. And it shouldn't just be girls, it should be everybody. Learn the people's preferences around you and do your best to accommodate them. Don't waste the minutes. They quickly run into hours. Time means money, both to yourself and your employer. Yeah, this is a big one that I know my generation particularly has a very hard time with, and their cell phones. And this goes to an episode I'm actually in the middle of shooting about cell phone etiquette. And a lot of companies now are actually giving extra time off to people who don't smoke. Because you got to think, you have 2 15-minute smoke breaks a day. That's what, 2.5 hours a week, I think? That adds up pretty quick. 2.5 hours of time on the clock that you should be working, that you're not. And it's only 15 minutes. 10 minutes, 15 minutes. Now, that does add up quite quickly over a long period of time. So a lot of companies are giving extra time off to people who don't smoke. Now, cell phone usage. That's also a big one. There's also this movement, NoFap. How long do you spend masturbating per day? That's time you can spend elsewhere, doing something productive. I know that's kind of a funny sentence to say. But seriously, if you spend 15 minutes a day playing with yourself, another half hour smoking, 2 hours throughout the whole day playing on Facebook, that's 4 hours. What can you get done in 4 hours that you're not doing? Clean your room, do your dishes, do some laundry, make the bed, call a couple friends. You can go out to the bar for a drink with 2 or 3 friends. You have a cigar and a scotch. A lot of these things, add up over time, and that you don't realize because it's just small little pieces of arbitrage. It does add up. Don't take much stock in the boy who preaches. The boy who practices is the fellow to bank on. This goes back to, don't talk about your accomplishments. You follow the guy who does the work, who actually gets the results, not the guy who talks about getting the results. Don't consider the lovers of sport shallow pates because you prefer books. This one actually speaks to me, because I really don't like sports, but I've never considered them less of people, because if you think about it, sports fans, they have to have a lot going on in their mind. People who play fantasy football, they have to know statistics of hundreds of players at a time, multiple teams. They usually have thousands and thousands of statistics stored up here in their noggin that I don't have space or time for. So I actually admire people who can do that, and you should too. Let's see. Don't vilify your temper. Scourge yourself for misusing it. You know what? There are times to get angry. There are times that getting angry is the right response. However, you need to know when those times are. And I believe, personally, I believe that stoicism is the best way to do that. Not suppressing your emotions, but putting them aside until it's appropriate, and then going through them, feeling them, examining them, whatever. Prime example, if you're in a car crash and time's ticking, let's say you went off a bridge, now's not the time to freak out and cry and scream and go, oh, woe is me. Now's the time to get your act together, save your own life, and help everyone else in the car, if there is anyone, save theirs. And then, once you're on the side of the road, safe, then you can have your breakdown. Don't misuse your temper. There is a time and place to get angry. Don't fail to practice saying no. It is one of the most difficult words to utter in the English language. It's also one of the first words you learn as a kid. Do you want to go to bed? No. Do you want to eat your vegetables? No. But overall, guys, don't overextend yourself, especially if you can't afford it or if it's way too taxing on you. Learn to say no for your own health, your own well-being. You don't owe anything to anyone. Don't cease fighting the old Adam in you. He is the cause of half the troubles in the world. His other name is vice. You should always push back against your vices as best you can. I guess that's all they're getting at there. Old Adam is out of the general lexicon, I believe. Don't fear individuals. The tyrants which ruin first and then kill are the desires. Watch them. I don't understand. Don't play for popular favor. Aim to be valued by an individual few. This is great. Popularity is fleeting. It is a distinct few people that you need to become valuable to and valued by, who will stick with you in the long run. Certain friends, your family. There are certain few people who will stick with you your entire life. Don't throw them by the wayside for popularity. Popularity is fleeting. Some friendships last forever. Cultivate those. Don't play for popular favor. Oh, sorry. I just went over that. Don't brag about courage. Wait your chance, then prove it. Again, don't talk your game. Let your success speak for you. Don't laugh at girlish fears. The boy who is sympathetic is always the chosen friend. Listen, everyone has phobias. Everyone has fears. Sometimes they may appear silly or irrational. Don't make fun of somebody just for that. And if you're one of the few people who don't, you've just made a great ally of that person. Don't be sensitive. The quickest way to dampen a teaser is to laugh at his efforts. Okay, so this is saying don't be a sensitive person. Don't be overly sensitive. In short, grow a thick skin. And if someone's trying to get under your skin, laugh at them. Make fun of them back. The best and most aggravating way to tick somebody off who's trying to troll you is be kind to them. Don't react to the stuff they're giving you, they're throwing at you. Just move on with your life. It's not worth getting hurt over every little thing, every comment, every snub, every snide, every slight. Life's too short. Let it go. Don't learn to gamble. It's a vice which robs each victim of wealth, health, and happiness. Yes and no. You should learn how to gamble. I think everyone should learn how to gamble. Because part of gambling is knowing your limits, and a man has got to know his limits. Everything you do, every time you get into a car, is a gamble. Every time you go for a job interview is a gamble. Everything that there is uncertainty in life, there is a gamble. So you need to know how to gamble. Because if you do not venture, you do not gain. And if you learn how to gamble, you can gauge things and learn how to hedge your bets. Don't be too self-satisfied. Association with others teaches a boy his weaknesses as well as how to acquire strength. In short, there's always people who are going to be better than you. This is going back to last episode. Learn from them, model them. That's how you achieve to be, that's how you seek to achieve to become a really great man. Don't make business breaks clerical or oral. Pardon me. Don't make business breaks clerical or oral. In commercial dealing, a word unfitly spoken or a figure misplaced spells danger. I don't understand what business breaks mean. I'm guessing fubs, fouls, mess-ups, mistakes. Be as fastidious as to correctness as you can during business. Don't be envious. Envy is a canker of the mind. A boy with a determined will can get anything he wants by his own exertion. Yeah. Listen. You shouldn't be concerned with what anyone else has. What you should be concerned with is your own future and working to get it. Envy is a waste of time. It's a waste of your time. It's a waste of your mental fortitude. It's a waste of your talent. Spend your time wisely. Don't be selfish. selfishness reacts and will replace you at a disadvantage. A self-centered boy has few friends. Again, don't be an asshole. Don't go about half asleep. Be keen to grasp each work. Be keen to grasp each workable idea which comes along and profit by it. Basically, guys, pay attention to your life, pay attention to the world around you, and I guess get a good night's sleep. You can't see by the yawning, I need a good night's sleep. Don't think that only great deeds invents heroism. It is the little deeds, well and nobly done, that make the hero. I need to pull up a quote by from Gandalf. I know, it's kind of stupid, but seriously, it is the little things in life. It's not the great deeds. This was typified by, what was it? A quote in Deadpool. That you don't go to bed a hero, wake up a hero, brush your teeth a hero. It's the little things. You get 3 or 4 moments in your life that really count. And really, it's true. It's the little things in life that matter at the end of the day. It's helping somebody out of a car that maybe has a bad back. Holding a door for somebody who's carrying packages. Giving someone a compliment can change someone's entire day. You don't always need to be the person who saves 1,000 people. It's the little things in life that matter. Saruman, this is a quote from Gandalf the Grey. Saruman believes it is only great power that can hold evil in check, but that is not what I have found. I have found that it is the small, everyday deeds of ordinary folk that keep the darkness at bay. Small acts of kindness and love. And that's another thing that should be plastered everywhere. It's small acts of kindness and love that change the world. It really is. Don't be sarcastic. Boys that indulge in sarcasm are shunned by their fellows. If you know me at all, you know that I speak sarcasm fluently. I don't agree with this at all. A lot of my best friends, we can go a whole day speaking sarcasm only, and you know, it's great. So I don't agree with that at all. Don't forget that it does not take any more time to be polite and agreeable than it does to be rude and disagreeable. Yes. Also, I think another way of saying this, and kind of an addendum to this, is you catch more flies with honey than vinegar. It doesn't take any time to be. It doesn't cost you anything to be a good person. In fact, there's a good chance it could save you a lot. Don't beg. Ask no one to give you anything that by labor or perseverance you may earn. Yeah. Guys, if you can do it yourself, don't ask for help. Do it yourself. Only ask for things that you really need. Don't worry as to whether or not you like your business superiors. Let your greatest concern be as to whether or not they like you. Yeah, because at the end of the day, they're the ones who sign your check. They're the ones who keep you employed. I don't care how much you like them or hate them or whatever. If they like you, you're employed. If they like your work, you'll be employed. If they don't like you, you're looking for a new job. Don't waste energy. There is no sense in using your whole strength to lift 10 pounds. Save your energy for 100 weights. I'm not sure how to address that, so we'll move on. If you can think of a way to address that in a succinct manner or a more colloquial expression, let me know in the comment section down below. Don't scoff at religion. It is neither smart nor becoming. Boys who have no reverence for religion have little for anything else. Listen, you should never scoff at what somebody honestly believes. And there are some things in every religion and every belief system, even if it's religious or not, that are absolutely ridiculous. But they believe in something. And generally, they believe in something that they think is going to make the world better, whether they're true or not. They honestly believe they're trying to make a better world. That's not a bad thing. Even if you don't agree with it, it's not a bad thing. Don't start looking for a job with a feeling that you're about to be hung. I don't know. That's another one that doesn't really translate well over 100 and some years. Don't speak in a loud voice, especially to a woman. Nothing is more boorish. Guys, you need to learn how to speak in a way that the person can hear you clearly. I've been on the phone so many times with guys who scream into the telephone so that you can hear them. And there's no one I would rather not talk to than those types of people. You don't need to shout. Speak only so that you can be heard and understood. Don't undervalue the importance of being as well dressed as your means will allow. A proper care for appearances is one of the first instincts of a gentleman. Guys, again, when you walk out in public, when you present yourself, you are presenting yourself kind of for sale. You are selling the concept of yourself, and you should be presentable at all times. And appropriately so for the crowd that you're trying to present yourself within. Do a favor when you can, and do it cheerfully, but allow none to abuse your willingness to serve. I don't know if I can wrap this up in something simple in 4 or 5 sentences. Don't be afraid to say no. Don't let people take advantage of you. You need never want for good company while hundreds of choice companions look down upon you from every library and ask you to take your pick. you need never want for good company while hundreds of choice companions. They're talking about books. A good book is company, but sometimes you need people. Don't brood or worry. Both warp the mind and hurt the body. There's a better way to say this, and it comes from my favorite song. The Sunscreen song by Baz Luhrmann. And I might bungle this too, but it's don't worry. Worrying about the future is about as effective as trying to solve an algebra equation by chewing bubblegum. The real worries in life are apt to be something that blindsides you on some idle Tuesday. And that's true. There's so many different ways to say this, but at the end of the day, life is going to resolve itself one way or another, and it doesn't matter how much you worry about something or not. If something's coming, it's gonna happen, and you're gonna have to deal with it when it gets here. Worrying about it is not going to change it. It's going to put you at, if anything, it'll put you at a disadvantage. So, again, thanks for watching, guys. I really appreciate it. And if you like this content, hit that subscribe button and join me every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Manliness Mondays, Philosophy Wednesdays, and coming soon, back again, Project Fridays. This was Don'ts for Boys. This is the 3rd installment, I believe. Fascinating read. A little outdated, a little antiquated with some of the things, but it's good. And guys, if you can, and this is no pressure to do it, but if you want to support Knightsmith, if you want to help me better myself and achieve my dreams, I have 3 ways for you to support me. The first and most direct is you going to my Patreon, link in the description, and donating what you can to me per month. $1, $5, whatever you can. And if there's anyone out there that can spare $1 million a month, I'm your man. The second way is to go to my Etsy. I have things on there for sale, plans, little doodads, beard balm. That does help me out. And the third way, if your money is tight, and I know it can get, I have Amazon affiliate links in the description below. Do your shopping as normal through Amazon. Just click on my link first, and then do your shopping. I get a portion of your portion of the funds at checkout, and it doesn't cost you anything extra. And it's a great way to support me. So if you do any of that, let me know. I super appreciate it, guys. And thanks for watching, and thank you for helping make this world better, one kerf at a time. And I'll see you later.